Mary Lou?
Yep. So first thing I'd like to ask is that there be a microphone for residents when they're commenting, because especially when we record the meetings, and hopefully someday when you record the meetings, you can hear everybody better in this room if you have a microphone and even a place for us to put our notes. Once again, I'm commenting at the beginning of the meeting when I had no idea what's gonna be discussed in item number 2. So I can't say anything about that because I'm not informed, the board packets aren't up on the website. There's no presentation materials on the website, so all I have to go on is there's a zoning case for a special use motor vehicle sales and open sales lot at 408 Lincoln Avenue. So I guess I'll just say, I'll have to comment on that at the next meeting. But I still would really ask you to record these meetings, to put the board meeting packets on the website, to, maybe change the time of these meetings to 7 p.m. so it's easier for people who have families or have jobs they have to get back from, to get to the meetings. And all the other recommendations that I've been asking for, a full audit of the apartment complex that's been demolished next to the firehouse, a 10-year plan for our downtown redevelopment. Those are things that are very important to me, and I hope you'll give them serious consideration going forward. Thank you.
Horace?
Yeah.
For public comment?
Oh.
Yes, this is,
I-
this was
He's the zoning.
Yep, okay, excellent. Jim?
Jim Buster, I just wanna comment on the proposed car dealership. I want everybody to reflect on the decision we made. I was included on the planning and zoning on 766 North, Route 22. We allowed them to bring vehicles in there on trailers. Stipulations, they were not to be outside after 5 o'clock. They're not supposed to be outside the fence on weekends. It turned into a circus. The place is a mess and a disaster. The stipulations on this one, if you're gonna make stipulations, let's make them enforceable. Vehicles can't drive in a residential area. Chief Eric might wanna respond to that, how you can enforce that, you can't. It stipulates that somebody has to be, vehicles have to be unloaded in a certain amount of time. Ask a police officer, ask the code enforcement guy, and ask that truck driver, what is that reasonable time? There's no reasonable time. This is unloading across the street from the library, which I only heard secondhand. The trailers have already impeded on the library's parking lot with kids in there. I think we should have learned from 766 Route 22, it got out of control. The stipulation for 3 cars in front of this building, there was 4 this weekend. We're already behind the 8 ball. So I just don't think it's I'm all for any businesses coming to Fox River Grove as long as they don't include a shot glass and slot machine. But I just don't think this is, the appropriate place for cars to be unloading, and I don't think there's gonna be any enforcement on the stipulations the planning and zoning put them on. Just like I was guilty of when I was on planning and zoning, we did similar stipulations on 766 about 22. They really couldn't be enforced. And so I just don't think I don't think you guys should pass it.
Thank you. Any other public comment this evening? Seeing none, moving on to village president and trustee reports. My report is, Meet Mayor Mark is next Tuesday, June 9th in this room from 6:30 to 8. We host that quarterly, and that's the next scheduled one. Any trustee reports?
I was at the zoning meeting, so even though the minutes go over pretty well, the zoning committee was more or less concerned with what happens when it's successful and in a couple of years, where he gets more employees, where do they park, and that's where all the concerns of how many cars are gonna be parked out front, talk came from. But other than that, I believe they bought the building 3 years ago. I didn't know anyone was there. I thought it was vacant. And he's been fixing them up. He buys by auction. And currently, since he doesn't have a license to sell to the state, he's been selling them through somebody in Barrington. And then they get the sales tax and traffic sale. He's already operating it. He's just trying to get a license from the state and it's a place to sell it. So he'll go into more detail. That was the gist of the meeting.
Thank you.
Firstly, I wanted to say that
The streets project, at least in my subdivision, went well, it seems like, or is still ongoing, there's some cleanup, I believe, but they went about it in an expeditious manner, and, the crews were, polite, and it got done with minimum inconvenience, and so I think that went really well, so I wanted to throw a good point out there. Since, the May 21st meeting, I haven't heard anything back, from anybody really, regarding, the hiring of a part-time human resources professional to fix the, conflict of interest there, nor for the conflict of interest, regarding the building inspector. The, administration hasn't started providing us with an opinion, more than, any like code or anything like that to go along with opinion. The meeting agenda is still going out just 48 hours in advance. We have no documented plan for anything. I did talk to Derek a little bit about 401 Algonquin. Has there been any like correspondence with the fire marshal regarding Block B at all?
Yes.
Okay. No.
Any other reports?
I have a question, and maybe I should save it, cause it was more so about the minutes, but trustee Joseph had highlighted it, about the comment on the April 21st meeting, not hearing back from anybody. I did respond.
Oh, you did
to your-
respond.
I did
Yeah,
respond to
you
your
did
email,
respond,
so I
sorry.
just was looking for
Okay.
clarification if you meant the trustees or staff or what.
Right, we did, and then, okay, so John and I did go back and forth, but I didn't hear back after my last email, so, it just kinda dropped off, so.
I responded too.
Okay.
That's 2 out of, I
Um,
responded.
Also, regarding, regarding the, recording of meetings and stuff, we can get a 1 terabyte hard drive that would probably store about 10 years worth of meeting video, for, I don't know, about $150, something like that, no more than a couple $100. I believe that we need to store it only for 18 months, is that correct?
Is this a trustee report or is this other business?
We can do it as other business, just,
Staff's still investigating that.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
question was directed to staff. We were looking at that with the board's direction at the last meeting. We're also looking into the implications of providing a complete packet to the public, which should be ready for discussion and board's consideration at the next meeting, and then video consideration to follow. I don't have a timeline on that. We haven't started an investigation on that. Given the other current business and then working on this what I'm calling step 1 of the meeting packets.
okay, thank you.
And I will say the reason they're looking into that is I presented that as an option for us to consider in other business to try to get our trustees, is that something we wanna do? These things that you keep bringing up here in trustee reports, you could bring them up for discussion among the other trustees. You could,
Noted.
and maybe that would move them forward.
Any other trustee reports? Seeing none, moving on to 1, approval consent agenda, which has items A, B, and C. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, please call roll.
Migdal,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
Hester,
yes.
Joseph,
Yes.
Kennard.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 2, discussion, zoning case 2026-04, special use, motor vehicle sales and open sales lot at 408 Algonquin Avenue. Steven?
Sure.
Lincoln.
408 Lincoln, yeah, that's correct. So, last week, as trustee Migdal introduced, Planning and Zoning Commission heard, petition from, Mr. Torres for zoning relief to consider a special use to allow motor vehicle sales and open sales lot at 408 Lincoln. This is the building that used to be Grove Auto Repair. Downstairs, there's also been an auto body shop. As Mr. Vernier introduced, the auto body shop was going to close June. They closed June 1st, so now he's the only tenant in the building. So I don't know if that part was covered in there. So just so you're aware, that's now off the site. So, as you'll see in the brief that was available, the recommendation was for approval of both of the special uses, with a few conditions: that vehicles listed for sale shouldn't be in front of the building, that vehicles in a state of disassembly should not be stored in front of the building at any time, maximum of 3 vehicles in front of the building, no more than 1 vehicle for sale located in front of the building, and only during an active sales transaction. Test drives should not occur on residential streets in Foxmore Grove. Vehicle loading and unloading should occur in an expeditious manner, and special uses granted would be limited to the petitioners at this time. So those were their recommendations, and he is available to answer any questions.
Excellent. Taurus, all right?
Yeah.
You have the floor, anything you'd like to add on to what's?
No, like, I totally agree with what, Steven said about like, not open like on the front of the building, like, cause if you're on the web, it's fine. Like also I got like just now whole building, maybe sometime it will be downstairs, but I don't know when. Like, for downstairs, it's not a problem to park any car, because like it's big parking spots, and like, I try to grow up this village, what I like propose, to make a business here. What you said, sir, maybe you met my brother, yeah, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I met him yesterday.
Yeah, we're twins. Yeah, we're twins. Yeah, but I don't know. I was upset. Yeah, but like, I didn't want to grow up because I don't have space for now. But it's like, it's me and my father, that's it. I don't want to take somebody to work there. First of all, I just need license to work by myself and pay like tax for myself, not for somebody, because I paid for every car, like $100 from every car for somebody environment. I like to work like together and to do like everything in the village.
Thank you. I'll open it up to questions from the board.
Could I understand the business model? Because I wasn't at the meeting and I read through some of the notes here, but I feel like if I were selling cars, I wouldn't wanna be on Lincoln in a congested area by a train station, so it's like, I mean, there was some legitimate concern about that. I mean, wouldn't you wanna be on more of a main route where people can drive by and have your cars parked out in front and they can see them, and I mean, how do you market your for sale cars?
What I said first, like at first meeting, it's not my full-time job. I make a video, make a picture. I know like how to do everything professional, like for like all like expensive like stuff for video, picture to present on internet.
Okay.
And because like first of all, people try to find on internet, and then they just come to look at like personal links like to the storage. Like everything just now on internet. I don't know like or people come to like residential area and say, oh like I want a car.
Right.
And it's like 5% from 100. Like it's not like that. Everything through internet, and what I said in the first like meeting, everything will be by appointment for sure. Because when people would like to come, they call first of all and say, oh like I would like to come to this, look at this car, where it's available. Later we can do like a meeting, like appointment for them, and like plan to meet.
How many cars have you sold so far this year?
I don't know. Like probably like 20 maybe.
20 of them? And Andrew mentioned to me that you sell them through a dealer in Barrington?
Yes. I got my friend who got a license.
Right.
He works like I'm on this area like in Lincoln 10.5 years probably. But I like did some renovation, but it still needs something else. Yeah. And I worked just now with this guy who has everything. I just bought from them, like to his like license and sell to them. So,
So the sale doesn't go through, the sale doesn't benefit sales tax for Foxmore Grove, right? It benefits
Not yet.
Barrington address, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. So,
Do you own the building or you?
No, I rent.
You rent?
Yeah, but I like very good relationship with home.
You've been renting there for 3 years already?
Already before. It'll be like around December will be fine.
And you've been doing this for 4 years out of that location?
Like
Buying cars and fixing them and selling them somewhere?
probably 3 even because it was some time to renovate something, because it wasn't anything like more than 3 years maybe probably. Now when I rented, I spent like thousands just for some renovation on inside, because it needs to look better for myself and my family.
When you are buying cars to sell, is there a specific date, like, are you buying newer cars, or it doesn't matter, you just buy cars that you think you can flip it off?
Where I can find nice price. Because just now everything expensive. If I can find a nice deal. But it's still like I'm limited because I'm limited on parking spot. If somebody move downstairs, I got probably like 20 it's maximum. Inside, outside, downstairs. It's like maximum, like 15 maybe like comfy. I'm limited, it's like I got some what do you say like to grow up. I don't have space to grow up. But like I would like to get like license to do everything like here and work by myself.
So what if somebody rents downstairs, where would those 15 cars be parked?
No, like in downstairs it can be like probably 40. Like maybe 30, maybe 30, yeah.
Oh.
Like no, I say like 15 inside, it's like my unit, downstairs, it's like big, it's big parking.
So, and the business that just closed, the other one that was in the building that just closed June 1st?
Yeah,
if I'm understanding.
he was-
So, are you going to rent out that other spot?
Not yet because I don't
To
have,
secure those?
I don't have money to cover both whole building.
That's the lower level, right?
Yes, so.
Gotcha.
That he was just talking about.
He was there 30 years.
Right, but the place where you'll be storing cars that you're repairing will be, is that a shared lot with that lower lot?
Yeah, like downstairs is like to share.
Okay. So we would wanna, I mean, if we're allowing you to, park a bunch of cars there and somebody else wants to rent that space, they would need that lot, right?
Like-
Am I understanding this correctly, Steve?
Like, they would, as he's describing, they would have to share the outdoor space in the back, that's in his lease, that they're.
Shared parking in the rear for the lower and upper level.
First of all, my point when because it's nobody here, so
Right.
but like like one more point when somebody will move in like in this to like put my like word like how many parking spot I got like how many parking like downstairs is like the most problem like the most common issue when I moved there. Like my neighbor downstairs said no like I here 30 years it's all my back parking spots. I said, no, on my lease like it shows like to share. It's not a problem, but so first of all, it's relationship. When like nice people move, I think it's not a problem to figure out, for this parking space, spot or something.
So police specifies, sorry, I just.
No, that's
Police
fine.
specifies that they have to share the parking, but does it get into more granular detail on how many spaces each occupant would get? Like in some leases, you get 3 out of the 10 spaces or whatever. Or does it just say you have to share it?
It don't have like straight rules, like on a lease or like this say like every unit have like 15-20 cars, like parking spot. But like it depends like somebody would like to park like 2 cars inside, somebody 5 cars. Like average people can park different amount of the car inside. I can park like 5 or 8 in mine, but it depends like how many space I need to like to go open door like something like that, Like 15 is minimum to park like all around building and parking spot, not a problem to park 15 car. And like it was if you saw it like it was some scrap, like my neighbor had some scrap like for 30 years, some bus scrap, they already cleaned everything and it's like big space for like for 40 cars.
Do you have, off-site storage? Or are you just gonna plan on just using whatever storage you have there for cars?
No, I got my storage for my like parts or like what I need to carry.
Okay, so you have off-site storage, not everything is located in Fox River Road, you have some space.
No, like I got like storage where if I need to leave some like parts, I rent that. I don't wanna. It's why I wanna like to be like clear because I don't wanna do mess inside. Like to leave what it was. Some scrap, some metal, like some garbage downstairs or like inside. At my unit, everything needs to be clean. I will be working out to clean everything because my neighbor down moved and I have more like space to clean it, leave some parts. And just first of all, I need to get time to do it properly. I'm here to figure out.
Do you have, some office space to
Yeah.
meet with clients
Yeah,
then?
sure.
A desk and a place where you can do the paperwork and everything inside? And that's it?
Yeah, we have like I don't have like how many square feet, was probably like 200 maybe, like for the office 300. We have restroom, we have emergency exit for downstairs if something happens. Perhaps.
When you asked about storage, were you referring to storage of vehicles or storage of parts?
No,
I guess both.
no, I don't
The
have
answer
storage
is
for
parts.
vehicles.
Yeah, it's
I
parts.
didn't think that's what you were asking about.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I don't have storage for vehicles.
yeah, just parts, so you
Yeah.
plan on storing all the vehicles, whatever inventory you
I
have.
got storage for like my mother furniture, the storage my wheel, you know, like like personal storage.
Yeah, not that, yeah, but I'm asking, yeah, for vehicles and stuff like that, although you said you had storage for parts, but that's just a personal storage.
Yeah, like personal storage. Yeah.
Okay, so you plan on keeping any cars you have for sale will be at that location?
For sure, because like I went in Springfield, I passed like everything for dealer, and they said me, you need to have like all cars in the lot, because if like inspector comes, and we'll ask, oh, where's this vehicle? It's I can have like the problem. It's like more than, you know. In Springfield it's different rules.
I have some questions regarding the
Yeah.
property and the businesses generally. So the auto body that had been operating for a very long time just moved out,
Yes,
that's gone.
yes, they finished.
You've been on that site for how long?
4 years.
And so what is the business that you've been operating there for 4 years if your cars were being sold off-site in Barrington? What are you doing there? What have you been doing there for 4 years?
Yeah, like just now I bought car through them. Like if it need to be some fix it and sell to them, that's it. I don't do any like outsource company, I don't do any payments or
So just vehicle repair and
Yes.
maintenance, that's what you've been doing for 4 years then? I'm
Like-
just I honestly
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah, like-
gather what's going on.
yeah.
Okay.
It's normal exit.
Okay. On only vehicles that you have bought and sold or open to the public?
No, it's just me. Like,
Okay.
Just my car. It's not open.
I don't have any other questions for him, does anybody else? The next thing I wanna chat about is the list of conditions, do you guys see that?
Is that from the zoning board minutes?
It is,
It's also in the staff memo.
yeah, PDF page 18, where it talks about, the conditions, but then staff's concurrence, or if it's problematic. And there's a couple that are problematic, so that's why I wanna bring it up, so. No vehicles listed for sale shall be stored in front of the building and on the subject property at any time. That's not a problem, staff concurs, right? On an enforcement issue, I'm talking about the condition itself. No vehicle in state of disassembly shall be stored in front of the building. Storage is already not allowed, you don't need to list that condition, so that's, not necessary. Maximum of 3, staff was good. This one, no more than one vehicle available for sale may be located in the front of the building and only during an active sales transaction. Do you wanna elaborate a little bit on that one, on why that's problematic? I agree with you, but.
Sure, so what was being discussed at the meeting was him bringing it up when he knows a potential client is coming to come look at the vehicle, but it might sit there while he's waiting for them to get there, and then they meet and they go over, look at the car and that sort of thing, but there would be some time when that vehicle would be sitting there. And so, as Jim was referencing, we've had some issues with, tying things to active loading and unloading and things like that in the past, and I think, the notion that we're going to be able to police this to the half hour or hour would be very difficult, even with police assistance.
It's actually not enforceable.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, very comment, if he can have 3 vehicles, how would we know if one's for sale or 3 are for sale?
We wouldn't.
Right.
Yep.
Just scratch that one again.
Test drives associated with the business shall not occur on residential streets. Again, I think we already discussed that one. Very unenforceable. All vehicle loading and unloading shall occur in an expeditious manner. We've learned that one's very difficult to enforce as well on previous sites. And the last one is my least favorite, just from a zoning runs with the land perspective, but staff is indifferent. But I believe if we grant zoning to a piece of property, it should run with the property until the use ceases, and then remove the conditional use, or special use.
So somebody else could be a car dealer
Yeah,
on
so,
that spot, but as soon as that spot ceases to host a car dealer,
yes, correct.
would that car dealer have to be licensed?
In Illinois traffic license.
But like, if somebody would wanted to keep that zoning, they didn't have their car
Then that would
dealer
not qualify.
license, then it would sunset.
Yeah, or we would do a removal, that's the clean way to do it. Yes, it would sunset, but also I prefer the clean where you actually remove it, which we've done in the past as well.
And what about him being a Illinois dealer, is that, can that be part of the conditions?
It's really hard to hear you, sorry.
Has to be.
He's going to do that, could that be conditioned, that, because why are we?
He will not be able to sell here unless he gets his Illinois license.
Okay, but why can't that be conditioned that we guarantee that it happens, because if we're going to great lengths with some unenforceable, things here, we better at least be getting some sales tax out of this. How do we know he's gonna do it?
You don't, I guess that's the.
You can't have an open
that's the
sales lot
challenge.
or sell cars without an Illinois dealer's
No,
license.
yeah, it's a chicken and egg scenario, right? He can't get his license until he has the rights to do it on this property, cause you have to apply for your license for the
Okay.
specific property.
I just-
But if he doesn't do it, then we just withdraw the
But how do we-
special use and.
How do we know?
I have
60 days.
I have all application from last year what I did in Springfield. So you can look at.
Yeah, staff will have to sign off on the zoning, to get the license,
Okay.
is one of the, and then,
I mean, part of our standard zoning language in a special use is that they have to comply with all laws, municipal, state laws, and so if he's operating, selling vehicles without a state license, well, I imagine they're gonna have some of the same about it, but in addition to that, we could pull the special
Okay.
use because it's a violation of the conditions of the.
That's fine, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Was there a letter submitted by the library?
there was under public comment during the planning and zoning commission meeting, which we are in possession of. Yeah, the way that I'm looking at it, the only real viable condition is number 3, which is a max of 3 vehicles should be parked in front of the building. So I wanted to talk about that with you guys before we take a straw poll of what we wanna do. Any other thoughts?
So, well, I like the conditions that the zoning board discussed. In theory, right, they're good conditions, but to Jim's point and Steven's point and our points of here, like, we can't enforce most of these points. So, a vehicle for sale, basically almost in a residential neighborhood across from the library, is going to draw more traffic to the area. Maybe it'll be, spaced out a little bit, it's really hard to tell, and without these conditions being enforceable, I don't know that I can get behind this, because in a perfect world, I wouldn't even have this be like a body shop like it used to operate. It's right across from the library, we're trying to clean up our town, this is right in the heart of downtown. I want the sales tax revenue, obviously, but I don't think that this is the right spot in town to be selling vehicles. And the 3 cars parked out front, that alone you can't enforce. Is it actively for sale, or is it an employee car?
Yeah, I was removing the sale or not for sale and just maxing at 3, cause 1 calls for sale and there's no, I mean, no, to your point,
You don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I boiled it down to condition 3 was the only one that would be truly viable from a complete, enforcement. But then you took the next step, minus, conditions on the side, the overall use, you're not in favor.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Okay.
seen what a mess it
Yep.
is over on 22, like,
Mhm.
we can't risk that.
So, something, I don't know, like, that I'm thinking here is, I don't really know how this will be different than what is currently happening, and it could just be that I don't really fully understand the business as it's been operating the past 3 years, but if, he gets his license to sell the cars, and then sells them, he's already doing the work on the cars, he's restoring them on site. There are already cars stored there, I went by and saw the back lot and everything, I don't know how much is his and how much is I didn't know there were 2 businesses there, so, I'm a little out of the loop on that. But I mean, there's already vehicles there, there's already 3 vehicles parked out front, you know, pretty routinely, from what I've seen. And so I don't really know what will be different, except that he can have somebody come into the office, sign the paperwork, and drive the vehicle away, you know? So, you know, the way I'm looking at it, like, I agree with you, like, the unenforceable bits,
Yeah.
with what's happened on 22, like, that's such a cautionary tale. But at the same time, you know, this has already been operating. I don't know how much of, you know, like the library's concern about people kind of 3-pointing into the drive, and how much of that is the other auto body and how much is Harris's operation. I just don't know, but if he's already essentially doing this work, and he said 20 cars so far this year, so that's, you know, 1 a week-ish, slightly less than, so it's not like we're talking about a Route 14 dealership, you know, it'll be, I'm not really concerned about like the people traffic coming in or anything like that. I don't know, I mean, it seems like it's more just, okay, he's already doing the work, he can ink the contracts in his office, the people can see the thing on the site. If we keep it to 3 in the front, then when one's for sale, he's gotta move his personal car to the back or whatever, and, you know, I don't know if it would be markedly different than what it's been with the understanding that I have of this operation. And Derek, you're looking at me with a furrowed brow. Am I misunderstanding anything? Okay.
And then on the conditioning?
Well, I think the maximum of 3 in front is, that's an actually enforceable condition. It shouldn't matter whether they're for sale or not, it could just be there. But, I don't know, unless I've got a misunderstanding of this, I would be okay with allowing him to sell them with that maximum of 3 condition, because it seems like, for all intents and purposes, everything's already been happening, except for the part where Fox River Grove benefits.
Okay.
I agree with the special use, should go with the property, and that, maximum of 3 vehicles is the only enforceable, condition. I think that the rest of the conditions are, like, where did this discussion come from? That test drives associated with the business should not occur on residential streets in Fox River Grove. If you're running a business, if you're looking to sell cars, I mean, somebody should be able to test drive a car, and, I mean, so I agree with throwing the rest of those out. I'll just say that, as far as that goes, I think I agree with Trustee Hester. It seems like everything else has been happening other than us getting the village getting the, sales tax revenue from this business. My only question, I guess, would be is there a way to kind of appease the concerns of the library and to do any offloading, like after 6 o'clock or something like that, or before library hours? Is that some sort of a stipulation that can happen, or it's not a?
From my perspective, that's part of what we ran into with Route 22, where the intention was deliveries would occur when the owner or tenant said they would, and sometimes people just show up when they show up to drop stuff off, and
Gotcha.
unfortunately then stuff just sits, and nobody's happy with that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's just kind of how trucking works.
Yep.
Okay.
Either way, like about your timing, there's a lot of kids on those little scooters and things going to and from the park and the library, even like outside of normal hours, if you did kind of put a time limit in there, so I don't know, it might solve one piece, but I don't think that'll solve another.
How do you have your vehicles delivered usually?
Like, it's gonna be no incline week, it's gonna be 2 incline, like, in week. Every week's different. But like, I never, like, in 4 years in parade, I never had any problem. It's nobody. I don't know, like, I met the Jeff, they, like, they're, like, his kids help me, like, not behind something, just like who on the bar next to my building, like, I never had any problem with the kids, with traffic, with crosswalk, like nothing.
Do you ever have to pull into the library property in order to,
Yeah, I got my personal trailer. I don't have any different choose where, but I like when it's like library, but it's library parking lot. Where's Metro on the back? I just move my personal trailer to the back to go like to my downstairs. It's like 10 seconds.
Okay, so that's how you get the vehicles delivered is through the, you don't have other drivers delivering your vehicles, you go and pick them up yourself?
No, I do. I have it.
On your trailer?
No,
Oh, you do have other people delivering for
no,
you?
yeah, sure.
Both ways.
Yeah, like I have my personal trailer if I need picking up some infos. Also, like if car coming like from New York or like Arizona, I can pick it up there.
Is there enough room, that would be the south side, to get a car carrier on the property? So that if there was a condition that all deliveries had to happen off village property, as in the road, you could accomplish that?
No, yeah, it's already been like for years. I never had any problems. Nobody never stopped, and it's not a problem to find some spots next to like gas station what for sale on the right side. It's gonna load too, like it's not a problem, you know, to load, but sometimes car can drive, sometimes no, and all. But I never had any problem. If somebody will say me something, I will take it about it.
So that all vehicle loading and unloading shall occur in an expeditious manner that does not obstruct traffic. Could that one be amended to all loading and unloading must occur on property? Does that not get us to what we're concerned about? And I don't know.
I'm assuming he has very large car trailers and he's one of the stops on a long run of dropping off cars. And I don't know that some of these big, I don't know what size vehicle is dropping off the cars. I don't know how you'd be able to maneuver that down that small driveway. You'd have to somehow back into that. And to
And that's the
do the
problem.
delivery on the property, you know, there's not a lot of space.
No, it's tight.
and even if they can, again, it could be regular trucking guy, no problems, does that, and then you, a trucker, drops it wherever they drop it.
We are talking about vehicles, so they could be driven from another spot, like if they were to drop off somewhere on
Sometimes
14th.
they're inoperable. is what
Oh,
I'm
so,
saying.
yeah.
And he makes them operable and then sells them.
Right.
That's the business. Okay. Down there, guys.
So, I mean, the property's already zoned for an auto repair shop, so even if this doesn't go through and he moves on to some other place where you feel like the neighborhood, another auto repair shop could open up. So when it was Grove Auto, I mean, he always had 6 cars jammed right in there, and he would still have 2 that he would in and out, and he would have tow trucks in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and he did, I mean, no offense to him,
But-
but
He's not asking to open up a auto repair shop, he repairs it for himself, and then, you know, if there's 3 cars up front, I'm assuming they're gonna be in better condition. So, kind of, you want this, or, cause the building is set up for an auto repair shop. I don't think it's gonna be anything else. No one's taking it down to rebuilding it, or probably not taking it down. So I see this as a better option right now. Could it bite us? Sure. Why not? But, and I don't know what you do about the, if there's gonna be a travel trailer bringing, a big car carrier. Have you ever had a car carrier delivered? The ones that hold 8 to 10 cars that pulls down Lincoln?
No, like usually it's like 3-car holder, but just now you see like what's going on with the gas price.
Smaller. Okay.
Usually like it takes like 2-3 minutes to unload the car. It's not a problem, you know. Sometimes it can come like at 10 p.m. I work like anytime, like in 24/7. It's like I need to pick another car. Okay.
Do you have a photo of the showroom? In the office?
I have what I would like to do. But like in the office. I have 20,000 pictures.
Not car pictures.
Not car.
No.
For wedding.
But this is what you would like to have someday, you don't have a showroom right now, correct?
Oh, like, I have like where I repaired the car, but like,
Yeah,
I
I
need
saw
to-
that yesterday, that's not really a showroom.
it's what I like, it's what I would like to do, you know, got the license, do some renovation, you know, like 1,000 for
That's-
renewal,
yeah.
inside and like make it slow.
For painting, have something.
Like, I did some like, do like some
You should.
So,
I think so, whatever.
Oh, that looks nice. Looks really nice.
That's a show like big ones.
Compared to what it was, I was in there before.
You know, that few was like,
Yeah.
Is that there now?
I'm sorry?
That's not, is that there now?
No.
Yeah.
Because I don't have
Yes,
license
it's
yet.
division.
Just for the big ones now. Like this.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any more questions for petitioner or staff? Alright, this was up for discussion, and so this is when we usually make a motion to put it on the next available agenda, and whoever does that, I would encourage you to include which condition you would like to keep.
So,
Should be 3. Condition number 3.
I would move that we put this on the next agenda with condition number 3, a maximum of 3 vehicles can be parked in front of the building. And I think I can support that.
is that the only condition?
I think it's the only like enforceable one.
I really feel like the test drive thing should be on there. I mean, we do wanna discourage people checking out their cars on residential streets when they can go right on 14.
But you can't enforce it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I don't wanna give the cops something to do that they can't do.
I understand, but I think we're saying it's okay then.
Just like say it's okay to have scooters and kids on scooters.
Are you looking with your motion, the same condition, the special use granted to the petitioner, or following the property? Cause they don't know that there's a real consensus.
I'm cool with it following the property, which is our standard way of doing things. This was it going with the petitioner was something special, right? That building and zoning, or planning.
I've seen it both ways, but in the last couple ones, I've made that same statement, that it should run with the property, just like a variation, that,
Right.
I wanna get away from this generally for the betterment of the community, cause it's challenging.
I mean, definitely just has to be considered putting it on there. I mean, what do you do when you test drive a car? Check the speed, check the brakes, everything else.
Mhm.
We really need that on residential streets. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
that we're limited with enforcement, but if we don't have it on there, then we're saying, go ahead, do brake checks and hold on.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I just don't know that it would be necessarily different than anyone else, driving on our streets going down Lincoln. Like, I totally understand what you're saying, and like, and I'm sensitive to the library's concerns too. Like, I'd love a thing that says like you can't test drive in the library's, loop,
Yeah.
cause that's a tight little, and I'd love if there no vehicles were pulling into the library to, access this. But I also don't wanna I don't wanna put regulations in that we can't enforce, because, then honest people will abide by those regulations and other people won't, and we end up just putting the squeeze on, folks who are just trying to comply, I don't know. I just don't think we can enforce it, and I think somebody test driving a car is probably driving about how people drive on, let's say, Lincoln, heading down south, probably doing 40 miles an hour.
Don't disagree with you, it's the enforcement part that I think, that you should send everybody, make a left and go to 14 and be done with it, but I struggle with putting conditions in that are unenforceable.
Yeah, I mean, the condition itself, I love it.
Right, exactly, yeah. You willing to tell everybody to make a left and
No,
leave your
sure,
site and go
because,
14,
I
so
need
we
to
don't have
sit-
to make it actual condition, like,
I need to sit with
as
somebody.
as a policy?
You're in the car with them.
Yeah, I need to be for sure, because maybe somebody would like to steal my car.
Then we're gonna go left on 14 and turn right onto North River by the dead end and then come up through there. there, so either way, you're in a neighborhood.
Cross the bridge, then turn around. Go through those residential.
Go together.
If it's this difficult, is the right spot for it,
Yeah.
period.
Alright, you have a motion on the floor with condition 3. Before I ask for a second, are we,
And the special use permit to the property, we don't need to make that a condition.
no, because these,
That's just, okay.
yeah, that's standard, this was,
Okay.
this condition was the restriction. Condition 5 is the one we're talking about, just drawing it out there. Not hearing any more amendments, so looking for a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that motion, even though we had discussion before?
My only comment would be, because I agree with the special uses should follow the property, but in this case, if it's going to follow the property, if he chooses to vacate the business and not operate and somebody else comes in there, it could be a very different story in terms of car sales. That's my only comment.
Sure. Yep, which is why I think we have to keep that condition 3 with the 3 cars in front, and what happens in the back is not visible truly from the street, and keeps the 3 sale or not for sale. That's that. Yes,
To your point there regarding the visibility on the rear, I believe right now it's heavily wooded on the rear side between there and Metro. And if there was ever concern of that being opened up, maybe there's an added condition that it must be screened from public viewing or something like that, or off-site, should that condition present itself, or those circumstances present itself. And the only other condition I can think of that wasn't discussed in zoning, if the board wanted to get into that, not to extend this meeting, but is there any contemplation for the total number of vehicles to be located on the property? In regards to, this special use?
Yeah, I think that's,
So it's complication, but
yeah, and it's split between 2 different properties,
Right,
there are
that's
2
correct.
different tenants.
That's correct.
And it's got a parking lot that should be striped and paved and access to the rear doors.
Sure.
Not blocked, so with all those things being said, then you can only have so many that you can have. You can't have it bumper to bumper, it's just not feasible, so. I'm good with what's actually feasible on site. That's how I judge. Any other discussion? Alright, so this motion is to put it on the next available agenda with condition 3. Hold on.
Joseph,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yeah.
Mingdal,
Yes.
Curtis? No. Esther?
Yes.
Motion passes, work with staff. Next available is not always the next agenda, but, we'll work with you and get the ordinance, ready for vote. Cool, thank you. Item 3, other business. Hearing none, need a motion to go into executive session for property purchase and sale pending and imminent litigation and personnel.
I'll make a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 7:19. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I just wanna add one thing about video recording. Technically, I think we can keep recording after the meeting ends, cause there's potential that